Okay, that's very interesting because we see that happening a lot here. By the way, I'm sorry because my camera is off. I'm using my cell phone, so I can't turn it on. I'm sorry. Uh,
Unfortunately.
yeah, that's yeah. I'd like
Because
to turn it on,
because
but
you have very beautiful picture.
yeah, yes, yeah. So here there are some researches, in that direction too. A lot of people that are in the analysis discourse field, they are very interested in that topic. But what really caught my attention when I was reading the program of the talks was that you were relating all of this with semantic field, which is interesting. So I was very curious to. I am very anxious actually to see what you were going to present because I think that's very interesting.
Yeah,
And
semantic field. So it's better I'll tell you this now because um, media can take any concept and as the consequences of influence, people can make a new imagination about the meaning of this concept. So, for example, words which connect us with gender. Some years ago, it was like hype, and it was prohibited to say about homosexualism and so on. Right now, thanks to media, its positive influence, we consider these words without any negative like any negative sense, and vice versa. We can use words. I don't like touch policy because because of my country have some problems in this field. But we can say just a word which can no connection with a person, something like bandits or hooligans, and can say about other nations that that these nations are bad, that they are fascist, and without no reasons or with fake news. And step to step, people may become consider their neighbors like fascists. So we can see the changing of the meaning of the words, and we use such techniques like how to say in English, dephemies and emphamies. So, for example, such a word like killer instead of liquidation. So instead of killing or bombarding, media can use word liquidation. So it's more mild, but it's more mild for perceiving, but the action is just killing people.
yeah, okay. So, and that's what has to do with the word that I think that you were saying here, the concepts of semantic field, because that's actually a matter of concept. Because when you look at the word, it, as you said, it sounds like an euphemism, and but the thing is as terrible as it is. So it's
Yeah,
just
but
like a
the things is terrible. But because of word, we can mild the perceiving of the deeds.
yeah, yeah. So it's like it's the same thing, but it has a different way of communicating this to make it, I don't know, to make it look less problematic or less violent or something like this. But that's a very interesting talk. I'm looking forward to listening to it as soon as it starts.
Okay, and moreover, I would like to say is that if you are in the center of media, you listen to information, you read newspaper, you see pictures. It's very difficult to resist to these great amount of information and to see
Yeah.
what is wrong and what is fake, and there is manipulation. And we analyze Ukrainian media, and we saw that not only Ukrainian and Russian media, and we saw that many that information, wrong information, includes in more manipulation than fake news. So fake news is not actual now because it's easy to check. Okay, it's real, it's unreal. And manipulation, it's the main tool, is the main method to influence on people's consciousness.
Yes, you should know that. Like, I think you know that probably, but I remember that last year, the World Health Organization declared like a second pandemic, which they called infodemic, and then they had a whole congress on that topic because of that was like the pandemic of information, especially after COVID-19. Like, you had so many different information, and that became very, at least in Brazil, it became very politicized. So we had a lot of fake news, and then all sorts of information that were not accurate at all, and then you had to keep double checking them before we could to make sure if the information was right or not. And then there was a whole conversation about this. So they had a conference last year, the World Health Organization, talking specifically about the impact of fake news, and all around the world, which became worse after the pandemic, because people were desperate, looking for solutions, trying to come up with all the crazy stuff they could to
Okay.
and that was an issue. It is actually, because here in Brazil we are not in a good position in terms of the pandemic. We haven't vaccinated enough, so we are suffering greatly here with the pandemic. We have a lot of death per day, especially compared to the world. So that's it. That's a good conversation to have. Right,
Yeah, it's a
Kajin?
really big conversation, and we have a lot of job here because it's like endless job, because there is only one remedy, is media literacy, and we work on the question media literacy, work, and so I have completed the whole course of media literacy with adult people, with my students, and as a result, oh my God! So I saw one of my ex-students repost fake news about Hewlett-Packard, and this company who will present a computer, somebody who reposts this information. Oh my God.
Yeah, then you go like, I can't believe it.
Just check this page, Facebook page.
Yeah.
Find the real Facebook page of Hewlett-Packard. No.
Yeah.
So it's a great job, and it's only one way to improve the situation: media literacy, because media, according to Homsky, there isn't no independent media. So all media need money, all media would like to survive, and
Yes.
Homsky says that media use money of elite, economical elite, and rich people and government, and so they service their interests. So, and our task to find these methods, find these tools, and to improve media literacy.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so I see that you know more. You have a lot of information. So I a little bit changed my workshop. So I am Julia. Sorry for such a situation because of technical problems. I really wanted to be in time, but because nobody joined me, I was very nervous, and at last we are together. So just miss this. Do you know, yes, that mass information start to influence to people from the inventing of electricity. And Herbert Marshall McLuhan decided that this was the benchmark when mass media started to influence people all around the world. So, but it wasn't the first time when mass manipulation through media. So please, I would like to listen to your feedback. Can you see my presentation, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So, according to your point of view, the first well-known case of mass manipulation through media was during William Shakespeare times. You remember his Richard III, his poem, his drama, during the French Revolution, and when some information bulletin started to issue, just first newspapers after inventing printing press, Gutenberg. So by Gutenberg. So I would like you give your ideas, to share your ideas.
I mean, all the three options seem to be a good source of media manipulation. So I would say A. I don't know.
Okay, so girls and Sabrina, and what is your point of view? Okay, let me proceed. So if we are talking about mass manipulation through media, so we should pay our attention to variant B, because William Shakespeare, it's impossible to say about mass manipulation. About first bulletin, it's impossible to say about mass manipulation, because these first information bulletins were for rich people, and these bulletins printed some special news. So during French Revolution, yeah, you remember such journalists like Jean-Paul Marat, you see this one, and his newspaper Friend of the People printed a list of the enemy of nations, provoke mass killing, and of course you remember this information about French Revolution. And by the way, he was killed by Charlotte Corday, who considered him like a monster. She said, I didn't kill a man, I killed a monster, because of his newspaper provoked mass killing around the whole France. So the first well-known case of mass manipulation through media, we can say that it's during French Revolution, thanks to Paul Marat. Okay, and the main mass media influence audio and visual representation. So it influences our perceptions, feelings, emotions, and provoke certain behavior, like form a certain worldview, and even provoke certain actions, and sometimes not good actions. So today I would like to consider methods, tools, manipulation of propaganda, and sometimes, very often, manipulation of propaganda can can result it into hate speech, and not just hate speech. I don't like this or that. Sometimes this hate speech can provoke tragic events, even killings. So, for example, audio influence. In 1994, there was such a bad event like Rwanda genocide. And it wasn't just about nothing. So before the day of genocide, the radio, A Thousand Hills, translated programs in which some elements of hating, of dehumanization and accusation of ethnic group Tutsi was included. So during 1 year, the hosters on this radio, step by step, dehumanized Tutsi, and people were so no. Hutu, the next ethnic group, they so hated the Tutsis that they were ready to kill them. And as a result, during the genocide, were killed about, it seems to me, about four. I don't remember. I don't remember the certain number, but it was a great number of people. Were about 7.5 million people were killed, and the hating was so hot that there are some examples when wife Hutu killed his husband Tutsi and killed their common children. So as you see, it was just audio program. And during French Revolution, during when the genocide started, the radio told the list of Tutsi, where Hutu could find Tutsi, and how it's possible to kill them. So just audio influence, just radio program. And one of my colleagues, he is psychophysiologist, he said that the psychological base for such a behavior lay on so-called parochial altruism. So people divided into we and they. We are good and they are not. And ingredients of this recipe is you should dehumanize and your enemy. So it's not a people. It's not people as they are not people. And moreover, you should feel fear. So it's maybe that people are dangerous, anxiety, and so just a joke on how to apply. So you should feed people of this information every day or even several times a day, and in some times they will be ready to kill others. So maybe you remember other examples, maybe you can see these pictures, and can you tell me other examples of such parochial altruism when people were fed such ingredients like fear, anxiety, and disgusting enemy and danger, and as a result we have not very good consequences? If no, okay, no. Can you remember?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, my question is the following. So, did you understand this slide? So this is how can we change people's worldview and change them to provoke them to perform bad actions, even such as killing. Is everything clear here?
Yeah, Sabrini said the Holocaust, so in the Second World War. I think there's a philosopher who talks about that. I don't remember I know there are two. One of them was a soldier during the Holocaust, and the other one talked about him. So I don't know exactly how you say it in English, but in Portuguese it's something like the banality of evil. It's Hannah Arendt, and she talks about that, how in some situations you have bad actions being performed as something normal, they end up being seen as bad.
But it's not just we communicate with our neighbor, people communicate with each other, and wow. And once upon a time, they decided to hate each other, to kill each other. So for this, they need some ground, and media helps to build these grounds, to build fear, anxiety, dehumanize, and to inspire danger. This picture is about the killing of French teacher. Do you remember Paul Samuel Paty because of hating in Facebook? Do you remember this case? Once more. Do you understand me? Maybe I explain not very clearly. Maybe I need to repeat. Sabrina, Anna, Galina, Federica, if you don't understand, maybe you need more explanation, please tell me. I don't like just tell blah, blah, blah without any reaction. Please tell me if you don't understand. I will repeat, I will explain once more.
It's okay. It's been clear so far. I mean, it's fine.
Okay. So just three pictures. The first one is about the killing of French teacher Samuel Paty. He was accused of abusing Mohammed, and this information was spread around Facebook, and the result, the teacher was killed. And this picture, you remember it about Donald Trump, and before his the first election campaign, his group accused Hillary Clinton's party that they abuse children in pizza, and such a case, Pizzagate, and as a result, one person decided to rescue these children and appeared in pizza with a gun. And this one, of course, also with Donald Trump, and information was spread around the social networks, and Donald Trump said that he won the election, so let's do something, and people stormed Capitolia. So just because of spreading information, so information words can influence not only people's consciousness, they can provoke killing and some unreasonable behavior. Okay, so now some examples about how visual text and pictures can influence our conscious. So you see, this is a wheel of emotions. And now I'll show you some pictures, some headlines and pictures. I would like you tell me how do you feel and people who read this information feel, and what emotions can this text provokes, and what is the aim of the author of this text. Okay, the first one. Can you see? If you feel awkward to communicate, just let me know and just miss these exercises.
No, that's okay. I'm not sure what the question was. Can you please repeat that?
Okay, now I'll show you some information, manipulative information, or I would like you look at them, headlines, and tell me what is the aim of the authors who printed or output this information, and which emotions the author would like to erect, would like to receive from auditors, from readers. Is everything clear, or shall I repeat once more?
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Federica, is everything okay?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay,
Thank
you. So look at this picture and please express, share your ideas.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So we see people and they're enjoying their time. They're happy. It's just advertise. So they're happy. They're enjoying.
Okay. And what reaction did the author provoke?
It's about the expectation, because they are saying, when you find out what these kids are jumping into, your jaw will drop. So it's something like, I want to know where they are jumping into. So it provokes me an expectation to find out what the place was.
Yes, and it's provoke you to click this news. And sometimes after you click in this news, you read nothing interesting. But we have such a headline, such a picture. Okay, it's interesting. You click. So, so the main aim of such a picture is to receive clicking and to receive more visitors. Okay, what about this one?
To me, it's the same. It's a clickbait. You just want to
clickbait, really. Yeah. So, and sometimes we click on such an information, such an article, and as a result, we saw nothing, or even absolutely different information. So, this is manipulation to insist auditor to insist a reader to click. Okay. So, and it's more a difficult situation. And we can often meet such posts, such text on social networks.
Yeah, I think that the author's thoughts were something like everybody loves children, and everybody feels pity for a child who has some illness, and the emotion is sorry for the child.
Sure, empathic. So, and it's a reality almost of these text are fake. And the reason of this of such posts and such pictures is to analyze you, to analyze a reader as a personality. So the system gathers information and see if you can sympathize and if you can be emphatic and you are a very kind person. So it's possible to give you special information and that later can be used in political from political purposes, or even if some not very honest people would like to gather money, I mean afterist, so they see that you can that you are a good person and you're empathic person, so like it's a plus about the characteristic of you. So it's not just a simple post, it's a real post, it's a fake. And people should be very careful with such a post, because this is a gathering information about personal characteristics. Okay, this one, sorry. So you see Russian and English headlines, and it was several times before lockdown, before coronavirus in Ukraine and Russia Federation. So, and right now, what can you see about this article?
Yeah, it's a painful theme for everybody, and it's a very update theme that everybody is interested in injections, and everybody wants to be healthy. Yes, and everybody is afraid to do something wrong according to these injections.
Yeah. And we have already discussed this question with Federica. So very often such things like our health, like our safety, are used in political purposes. So one political force decided to use just injections and to increase the people who support them. So unfortunately, they don't think about people's health, they think about their popularity. By the way, I have checked this picture, and this picture of these bottles circulated around internet many years. And later I show you how to check pictures. Okay, this one, oh my God. And you see how many visitors, how many people read this trash, read this rubbish.
It happens a lot here in Brazil, but the difference is that it comes from the government. Headlines like that from our government. So we are kind of familiar with it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I'm very... okay, Sabrina?
Sorry, it's Anna, actually, but it's okay. Here in Brazil, we actually have to tell people that that's wrong, because most people believe in it. And we receive, for example, now with the vaccines, and I don't know if this is like widely known, but here people think that hydroxychloroquine, I don't know if that's how you say it, treats coronavirus. So we receive, like in messages and stuff like that, news saying that they found a cure for the coronavirus, or that vaccines are gonna kill us, or something like that. And we have to actually like explain why it is.
Yes, and the sad thing about what Anna is saying is that it's not just random information, but it's most of the time it's information coming from our government.
Yeah, if
That
you
is the
look,
crazy thing about it.
yeah, if you look at the presidential speeches, you can usually find stuff like that, that it's being said by the president.
So you can see, so the main aim of such articles, they are not care about people, they care about support of electorate, and just first of all, and they are ready to use all remedies. Okay, let it be, doesn't care about health, doesn't care about peace. So at this picture you can see that just people of different nations, like opposite to each other. So it's, as a result, it's possible just not only hating Jewish people or people of other nations. It can be the situation like in Rwanda or in France, just one group can kill the other group. So it's very dangerous playing with such a thing. And of course, only one remedy, media literacy. But I would like to say you that in reality, it's very difficult to insist of such a huge number of information. When you hear every day the same thing, and you read it from newspaper, from TV, on the radio, so it's very difficult to resist. So as a result, more population, they are inclined to trust everything they hear and see. Okay, so, and now you see the, how can media manipulate with picture. So you see the real picture and that changing of perspective, we will see absolutely different picture. And it's very, by the way, I would like to stress that very often media use not only text, but also pictures and colors. So they stress with red color or bold, or bold letters, information which they would like to readers pay attention, and they use pictures just to intensify the influence on emotions. So one of the main one of the main methods to influence, to change worldview is influencing on emotions. All information which affects our feelings, all information which affects our feelings, we remember this, such an information better and more longer. That's why very often people don't even check information. They feel that this news is touched them. They started to show emotions. They click, they repost, they share, and the emotions don't allow them to consider the information very balanced or to check this information. Okay, so, and we proceed about the picture. So just share your point of view. If you see an article and such a picture, what is your just point of view? What is this article maybe about? You see this picture, and what information may be about? What can you say about this girl?
I would say that's about immigration.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but that's
Mm-hmm. Immigration, poor girl, yeah. And now, so the next part of the picture. What now can you see, and what information you expected to read?
Maybe about violence in family.
Yeah, about violence. And right now, the real picture. You see. And what can you say about the real picture without cutting? Mother.
Family that is going for a walk.
Just a family, you see, one children, another children, mother, father. So sometimes media can use such a message like cutting the picture, and you don't see the real situation, and this picture can be used for absolutely different, to describe an absolutely different situation, like a manipulative using of picture. Okay, the same with this one. You see, like happy boy, run, and in the reality, just running for his life. You see a man with machete, and he is going to kill him.
He is not happy at all.
He is not happy at all. No, and here not. Okay, we can use it. Everything is okay. So, and now the real situation. So you see, girls, sorry, but we have Russian and English translation. It's not my guilty that we have such an articles. So you can see the text and you can see the picture. Look, pay your attention at the data, and what can you see about the combination of this text and a picture?
I think that the picture makes us understand that the situation is really dangerous, that it is really so, as the article says, it makes you feel a fear of something.
Yeah, makes you feel a fear. And what is wrong? What is wrong? Look at the picture more carefully. What is wrong here? And look at the date. Maybe I try to make it large. Any ideas?
The flowers.
Yeah. So now once more, you see T-shirt and you see the date. What is it? What is the month? It is about USA. This October, and it's rather cold in October. So this is like the first, the first site, the first mark that something wrong with this picture and with this text. Okay, so we can check the picture and we can see if this picture is about this text, or maybe it was taken from earlier on from other publications. So we have such a beautiful site like TNI, this one, and you should download the picture there or site, and as a result you see when this picture appeared the first time, and moreover you can see if something changes were added, for example cutting or edit a figure or something else. So TNI, super site, one of my favorite, and this picture was firstly appeared in May, and it concerns absolutely different situation. So it's like one of the methods of manipulation. Just use picture, good picture, but this picture in reality have nothing common or with the problems or situation which is describing in the text. Got it? By the way, do you know this site? T9.
I didn't know it.
Fortunately, no.
Now I'll try to show you if it will be possible. Tin. T9. Can you see my manipulation on the screen? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. TinEye. So you can paste URL or you can upload a picture. For example, Bungalow Boys. So sort by oldest, sort by newest, biggest image, most changed, best match. So, and if you have such an instrument, you can analyze when this picture appeared the first time. Yeah, you see. So TinEye.
Thank you very much. I think.
There are other instruments, but as for me, my favorite is TinEye. Okay, so, and if we are talking about media literacy as the way to resist of manipulation, so I would like to share my experience. I ask my students, so I spread a questionnaire and ask about how can they spot fake and real news, and what criteria do they use to identify fake news, and if they use special resources for fact checking. And the reality, most of students decided they can spot real and fake news. And for checking, they use just intuition, because we are so clever. We can see, we can distinguish real news and fake news. Okay, and after that, I give them some task, some pictures and text to identify real and fake news. And the result shows that most of them can't distinguish fake and real news. So after this questionnaire, after these results, I invited them to my course, Media Literacy, and after the course, we have received such a result. So they realized that they need check information, they knew more information about tools such as TinEye and others, and they know how to check information, which resources can they use. So you see the result, but nevertheless, I have already told situation when one of my students decided to receive Hewlett-Packard computer without no money. So the desire was so big that she forgot about checking information. Okay, and at last, I would like to tell that don't forget that a lie can run around the world before the truth has got its boots on. So because lie use our emotions, our feelings, our ability to be empathic, it can spread very quickly. But unfortunately, the truth needs more time to be spreaded and to be understood. Okay, so that's all, and I will be very glad to answer your questions.
Thank you very much. It was really very interesting and useful. But really what I wanted to say that unfortunately people often don't want to check the information. They don't want to know the truth. It's much easier to hear the lie and to believe in this lie than to check the information and to see the world without this pink, how would I say? Okay, you understand it.
Yeah.
So people don't want to know the
Yeah,
truth.
Galina, you're right. People are too busy or too lazy, or they are self-confident, like my students were. They are sure they can distinguish fake news and real news, and they didn't like to check information, especially when they have such things like confirmation bias. If they see something that support their point of view, they are glad to listen to it. So one of the example, my student found an information about that people who are always late are very creative. And he said, Yuliya Mikhailivna, you see, don't cry at us when we are late. We just very creative people. Oh my God. Vanya, let's check this information. Uh, okay, scientists said that people who are late are very creative. Which scientist? What scientist did say that? Okay, so but he was very glad when he found the support in okay, I can believe it because I am a very creative person.
Actually, yes.
Yeah, one interesting point I was thinking during your presentation is that lately, I mean, of course, that Anna and I were before talking about the reality that you have in Brazil, because we are very familiar with this, unfortunately. But it's interesting how opinions have taken over facts, and then you are presenting, a bunch of facts to people, and then they just rebut the information with opinions. It's just like, I don't think so, but that's a fact. It's not a matter of what you think. It's just like, I don't think if I jump out the window, I'm gonna, I live on the third floor, and if I jump out the window, of course, that I'm not gonna fly because there's this thing called gravity, and it's not a matter of opinion. It's just a fact. So, just to make 2 points about your presentation, one is that people really, we are, in terms of literacy, as you were talking about before, that was your group, we do have to educate people in terms of what the difference is between opinion and fact and scientific fact. That's just, those are two different things. And then the second thing I was thinking during your presentation is about a concept that a lot of linguists have been using lately, which is metacognition, which is the ability of thinking about of what you were thinking. It's not just doing things in a very automatic way, but then think about your thoughts. That's I think that's very relevant in terms of what you are discussing here.
Yeah.
I have a comment. It's more like something I learned recently, and kind of is related to your talk. So I recently learned that the things that Google shows me when I search about, for example, political stuff, are not the same things that it will appear for someone who has a different point of view. So, for example, when I look up what the vaccines do, it will appear like actually what they do. And I know how, like, because I learned it in school, I know what it takes for something to be like a scientific fact. It's not like, oh, because a scientist said it, it is a scientific fact. There is a research behind it and like a process, but that's not something that it's known by everyone, at least not here in Brazil. So for example, we have doctors and people who are in charge of the vaccination here in Brazil, and they don't believe that the vaccines work. So they are in the internet saying that they don't work, and they will, I don't know, turn us into crocodiles. This is a Brazilian joke because people are saying that here.
So now you are talking about confirmation bias. So if they are ready to believe in something, so and if they don't believe doctors, they find the confirmation of their point of view on the internet.
Yeah, and most people nowadays find their information on the internet.
And it's a great it's a big mistake. Of course, our internet right now is a doctor, is a psychologist, is a teacher, so we can find all information, and most of this information is rubbish. So I see, I have already mentioned, so I see only one way: media literacy from early childhood, students, pupils. So we should develop critical thinking. So it's not like I don't believe anybody and anything, just critical thinking. So you see information, check it, especially if you feel just a splash of emotions. Wow, stop, I need to check. Okay, thank you for your visiting to my workshop. Sorry for my being late, but it's not my fault. It's because of technical problems. I was very nervous. And I hope see you next conference after injection. So, and we see together, not all online and offline, and communicate and discuss on this topic, because I work on this topic: mass media influence, mass media manipulation. By the way, and be very careful with citation on the internet, because around the internet there is such a things like 10 quotation of Noam Chomsky about media. And I have thoroughly checked this information. Noam Chomsky has never said such 10 points. So maybe if you have any questions about Chomsky, about any resources, about anything else, so please write down my mail, this one, and I will be ready to answer your questions. Maybe you have any ideas about common project, common research, you're welcome. So please just write my email, and I will be glad to answer.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank you, and not only for this presentation, but for the whole work, because I have read a lot of your articles, actually, because I do the research in advertising, advertising manipulations, and I have conducted an associative experiment.
Okay, super.
And thank you very much. I have read a lot of useful information in your article.
Okay, not at all. By the way, we have carried out the research, and we compare the just concept of the word conflict in Indian people and Ukrainian people. Maybe if you're interested, we can add people from your country, and we can just make our research more wide. So my invitation. Okay, so bye, and I hope to see you next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.